torrential rain poured down, casting the cement floor of the abandoned warehouse into a slippery mirror surface. Inside the patrol car, Detective Ryan Mitchell clung tightly to the clasp of his tactical vest and caught a glimpse of Charlie in the passenger seat out of the corner of his eye. This German Shepherd was standing upright with its earbuds, scanning for every strange sound in the rain curtain like a radar. The dispatcher's voice on the walkie-talkie was filled with a sense of urgency. "Attention. Unit 12. Armed personnel have been found in the old warehouse on Western Avenue. Support will arrive in 5 minutes." The blade of surprise in the dark night, the rusted iron gate, was like a giant beast bared its teeth. Ryan lowered his tactical flashlight, and the beam of light made trembling tracks on the peeling wall plaster. Charlie clung tightly to the side of his knee, his nose tip quivering vigorously in the damp air. Suddenly, he tightened the leash. A crisp sound of metal clapping came from the third floor. Ryan had just raised his hand when a burning pain suddenly burst out in his left abdomen. He staggered to his knees on the ground. The moment his palm pressed against the wound, warm blood trickled through his fingers and seeped into the puddles, creating dark red ripples. 3 dark figures filed out from behind the pillar. The leader shook the homemade firearm in his hand. Ryan struggled to reach for the walkie-talkie at his waist, only to see Charlie standing in front of him like a bronze statue, the thunderous growl rolling in his throat. "It's just a dog," the gangster muttered as he approached, and his military boots splashed up water like shattered jade in the standing water. In an instant, Charlie's front paws pierced the ground. His amber-colored pupils refracted a fierce wolf-like light under the flashlight, and the long hairs on his back stood up like steel needles. The blood-red temperature of the silent contract, Ryan's consciousness gradually blurred in the rain, and he could only see Charlie's figure wriggling and darting in the rain curtain. When the gangster tried to approach around the police dog, Charlie lunged at the other's ankle. The moment his sharp teeth pierced through the denim, another gangster swung a steel pipe and threw it at the dog's back. Charlie Ryan's hoarse cry was swallowed up by the sound of the rain. The police dog's ears twitched violently. Instead of retreating, it stretched its entire body in front of him, using its warm fur to press against his trembling shoulders. The most terrifying moment came the moment the dagger was drawn. Charlie didn't choose to pounce or bite, but suddenly turned around, tightly pressing his back against Ryan's chest, and let out a sob mixed with warning and comfort in his throat. That was their exclusive, secret code during training. "I'm here. Don't be afraid." The gangsters were intimidated by this abnormal behavior. The frozen tip of the dagger dripped with raindrops, hitting Charlie's trembling back and sending up fine water droplets. The transmission of life signals through dog paws. In the distance, sirens pierced through the rain curtain, and the gangsters exchanged panicked glances. When the first person turned and ran away, Charlie chased after him for 2 steps, but suddenly turned back after hearing Ryan's faint groan, pushed Ryan's weak fingers away with the tip of its nose and pressed the walkie-talkie button under its blood-stained paw. Although it couldn't speak, it precisely dialed the emergency channel. The red light beat like a heart in the rainy night. When the medical staff broke in, they saw Charlie lying on Ryan's chest, licking the rain and blood off his cheek with his tongue. The police dog's back was swollen and deep purple, but it still used its body to shield it from the falling wall dust. "It kept stepping on the walkie-talkie until we received the signal," Ryan muttered to himself on the stretcher, his fingertips deeply embedded in Charlie's dog tag. The metal tag was engraved with their common number, K92734, and at the moment it was tingling with a slight burning sensation of body temperature. Loyalty medals that are like armor to each other 3 months later. Ryan returned to the police force with a carbon fiber cane, and the Purple Heart medal glimmered on his uniform. In Charlie's kennel, apart from the certificates of merit, there was also a specially made bulletproof vest hanging. It was a nameplate cast from shingles removed during Ryan's surgery, engraved with the words, "We are each other's armor." Whenever the rainstorm pours down again, Ryan always takes Charlie back to the old warehouse site. The police dog's pace is slower than before, but it still stops to sniff in front of the pillar on the 3rd floor, amid the sound of raindrops pounding on the tin roof. It seems as if the silent vow of that night still reverberates. When human courage is on the verge of being extinguished in a pool of blood, it is the instinctive loyalty of animals that builds a great wall of flesh and blood between life and death, allowing the light of the police badge to penetrate the deepest darkness.